is unchanged. Today, the Home Secretary was in the region and was putting a brave face on the figures.
Such is the fear attached to knife crime that most people, when asked, have a view. In Milton Keynes today, these 15-year-old girls had plenty to say.
Well, I was living on the lakes and my next door neighbour got stabbed in the pub downstairs, but that's the only knife crime that I've ever experienced.
Well, I've heard of people, not personally know them, but I've heard of people that have carried knives and been hurt or stabbed or whatever.
But I know someone who got stabbed and then someone got a knife pulled out on them the other day and everything.
People are openly carrying knives on our streets and they're not afraid to show them to camera and they're not afraid to use them. But in Milton Keynes, police say they have less of a problem than other parts of Thames Valley.
The number of offences involving knives are about 87, and of those, only about 23 people were injured in incidents and crimes. Now, that's 23 too many, but thankfully there were no serious injuries and certainly no deaths.
Figures released today reveal 126 people in 10 police force regions were stabbed to death, up 7 from the previous year. In Essex, some of the millions the government spent was on airport-style security arches at railway stations. Essex police say the crackdown has got results in that no teenager has died from knife wounds since 2007. But it had this stark message for anyone who still carries a knife.
And you can expect that Essex Police and our partners will not tolerate that sort of behaviour and will expect that you will be robustly challenged, and if needs be, we will prosecute you.
The Home Secretary, on a visit to Norwich today, talked up the positives on figures which are ultimately an embarrassment to the Home Office.
We never said that after a year everything will be solved. The whole point of this is the police, the local communities, schools, local authorities all working together with a whole range of measures that they're using, and we're in this for the long haul.
How many parents who are actually watching this now know where their children are? I think you should know where your children are. You should be having that conversation at home, that dialogue, you know, what did they do during their day? That's how you keep our young people safe.
At best, all the government can say is that its crackdown has done nothing more than keep the number of knife deaths and injuries relatively stable. Sally Chidzoy, BBC Look East.
Well, Anne Oakes-Odgers has been campaigning against knife crime since her son Wesley was stabbed to death at a cash point machine in Colchester in 2005. She's in Essex now. Is it the message that's getting across, or is it the security arches, or is it a lack of parenting skills? What do you put down the problem with knives to?
Well, I think that the problem with knives has been coming on our society for many years, and certainly when my son Wesley was murdered in 2005, there really wasn't any focus at all on knife crime as such. What we have now and what we've achieved in Essex is not only a focus but a proactive education programme, the Tackling Knives Action Programme, which is a cross-government programme. All of these things have been put in place, and we're only 1 year into that programme, so I personally feel that we've achieved a lot.
Isn't it the security arches and things like that that's making the real difference, because people are afraid to carry a knife in case they get caught with it on them?
Well, I think it's a whole raft of measures. Certainly the safety arches, I think, are part of how to deal with the problem, but it's not just one single thing. It needs everybody to get behind this whole programme to actually turn back the tide of the attitudes of young people. And it's not just young people. Certainly the first year we've looked at dealing with 13 to 19-year-olds, and what we have done now in expanding that programme is we're now going into the 19 to 24 age bracket to try and look at the nighttime economy and alcohol abuse. This is not just one quick fix.
Anne Oakes-Odgers, thank you very much.